Hello and welcome to this week's video. So today we got yet another unboxing and just a couple of boxes this time, but I think they're both really good ones that you're going to enjoy. So this first one here has got predominantly smaller ships and bits and bobs in, quite a lot of interesting stuff by the looks of it. And this second box here appears to be full of carded figures, so looks like there's stacks to go through, so I thought I'd better leave it at that. So similar to last time, I'll get all of this unpacked and then I'll rearrange the cameras and we'll put it up nice and close for you to have a look at. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is the first bit I pulled out, and this is the lovely Patrol Dewback. Now, yeah, I remember obviously seeing these in the original movie, and I was gutted that they never came out in Britain. There was never a Palitoy version of this one. What a fine play set this one is. Absolutely fantastic. I know that there is a later edition with a flash on which says Collector's Series, but this is just one of those ones from the first release, and I absolutely love this toy. It's fantastic. Even loose, these are just fantastic to have on display, and really love the Patrol Dewback. I wonder what nick this one's in actually. So there's no cardboard in here, but there is there is an old stormtrooper in here, which I was not expecting. So there you go. Yeah, brilliant. I think you move the tail to move the head. Yeah, really nice bit of kit, that one. Really good toy. One of the best ones. Can't for the life of me understand why it didn't come out in the UK, but there you go. These things happen sometimes, and we had our own exclusives over here. So that's the first sort of the slightly like mid-sized toys. Next one is this one, which is the Electronic Battle Command game, which it's a US Kenner one again, and this was like an early electronic game. So this was, this is the era of Space Invaders, and that's exactly what this is. This is like basically battleships, but an electronic version of it. Yeah, the Electronic Battle Command game. What they would call a tabletop in retro gaming circles. Really nice mint boxed one, this. Pleased to have this one. I remember getting it actually at one of the toy fairs, and certainly really nice to have this nice Kenner one. Yeah, it's absolutely mint. I won't get this one out, but I know it is mint in box, that little fella. Next one is perhaps my all-time favourite of the small ships, which is the Landspeeder. So once again, the Kenner one. I'm pretty certain I've got the Palitoy one as well. Pretty certain I have, because I do love the Palitoy stuff, as you know. But this is the US one with the pop-up bonnet. And yeah, this is classic, isn't it? It's one of the all-time great toys. I certainly love this one to death, and I would recreate those scenes all the time. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic, the Landspeeder. So that's that. Now the next one I was not expecting to find. I knew I had a couple of bits of Droids memorabilia, but I just couldn't remember if it was this one or not. So this is the Droids animated series. It's the Side Gunner. So I was never really into droids like that, or the Ewoks for that matter. I was too old to really appreciate the cartoon series, although, any new Star Wars was always good, and I probably picked this one up simply because, well, it's Star Wars. Now he is. I don't know how easily I can get into this one, if it is sort of sealed or not. Let's have a look. No, okay, oh, there we are. So it's got the interplanetary map. I know these are the things that often can be missing, and these are quite nice because they've got the Power of the Force stuff on as well. And I think there's 3. Yeah, look, collect all 3 maps. There's 3 different versions of this map to collect, and that's the one that's in this one. So they're pretty cool with the instruction sheets and everything. So that's a nice. Oh, it's stickers applied though. I do remember that there was. I seem to recall when I got this that there were a few of these around. Let's put it that way. It wasn't perhaps mega rare like, say, the A-Wing is, which I would dearly love to get, but that was one I never got around to, not even loose. So the next thing we're going to have a look at is this Star Wars poster art portfolio. Now, this one here, it is sealed, and it's 6 classic images from Star Wars. And this one, it says published in San Francisco, 1993. So there's like 6 like art prints in there, which are pretty cool. Now, this next thing is it's a Wicket, like a frame tray puzzle. So basically the pattern is duplicated 9 times, and you have to mix up the pieces until you can get them back in order. This one's actually sealed, but it's also, I've got the companion one here, which is a Jedi one. So this has got Jabba and Luke and Leia Bouche, Lando there as well. Quite nice, quite interesting. They're nice that they're sealed. American only, 1983. Certainly one of those like oddball items that I like to pick up. I love those sorts of things. Now this I really do remember. This is definitely one of the highlights of the collection. So this is the original Star Wars portfolio by Ralph McQuarry, and you'll notice that this one's been signed by him. Now I got all 3 of the McQuarrie portfolios signed. I believe it was about, I don't know, maybe as late as 96, 97. Rolf was at the NEC with his son doing a signing session. The only time I ever got to meet him, and I knew he was going to be there. So I took up all 3 Star Wars portfolios, Star Wars Empire and Jedi one, and I got him to sign them, as well as my autograph book and a couple of other bits and bobs. So although the actual prints inside aren't signed, on the actual portfolio itself is, which is definitely one of my special pieces. And to go along with that, here is the Jedi one, which is also signed. And I remember this one, I think I had to open it. It was still partly in cellophane. I had to open it just so I could get McQuarrie to actually put his signature on, which he was more than happy to do. Really, really nice chap he was, in fact, to me. I haven't got the Empire one here because, as I'm sure you are aware, the Empire Strikes Back portfolio is much, much wider than this. And that is in, or it must be in one of the other boxes that we've yet to take out of storage. So that's sort of all the space I've got there to show you that. So I'm just going to pause there, clear this stuff off the table, and we'll start having a look at the rest of the bits. Okay, so I've cleared the decks a little bit here, and found this one here, which is a little unusual. It's a really heavy Darth Vader like figural mug, apparently filled with chocolate gold coins. So I'm hoping that I emptied it out. Dated 1996, so good 20 plus years old now. Don't know much about that one, to be honest. It says Kinnerton, which I believe were they used to make chocolates for Marks and Spencer's, so maybe it's something to do with them. Now this is another more recent item. This is a watch here. It's a Pepsi Feel the Force watch for the Star Wars special editions. So this would have come out 1996 again. So these are both from 1996. I believe this is some sort of Pepsi promo watch, which is, you know, it's a bit of fun. It's quite nice. Next thing, I actually really like these. I don't know what these were doing in this box, but this is a couple of Star Wars toothbrushes. So this is from Oral-B. I think there's about 6 or maybe 8 in the set, and I would actually like to track the rest of these down because these are good fun. A Luke and a Darth toothbrush there. In fact, look, there's 6 on the back. No date on these, but because it's Ewoks there, I'm guessing you're going to be looking at 1983. So these are Jedi, Return of the Jedi tie-ins there, but there you go. Yeah, I like those toothbrushes. Now, carded figure time. So the first one, well, you know, don't hate me. It's not exactly vintage, but this was the first wave of when the figures came out in the mid-90s, 1995, and God, they were pretty awful, let's be honest. I seem to remember there was a bit of a run at the time because certain figures had this little booklet behind them for the trilogy special editions on video. And I believe I've got maybe a handful of these particular ones with that like THX leaflet. That's what they used to be called, the THX leaflet. So if you do see the odd modern bit, please don't send me any hate mail. You know, it is what it is, and probably the most awful Princess Leia figure that has ever been made. I mean, really awful. Anyway, there you go. That's that one. The next one then, I'll redeem myself, shall I, with Mr. Boba Fett. So this is a juicy figure. Shall we take him out of the box, I think? Oh. So this is a Kenner Boba Fett, not a Palitoy one. And this is the 77 back, classic 77 back from 1983. Typical of the Kenner ones, the bubbles yellowed, which is such a shame. But it is nice, it's unpunched. And this one's signed by Jeremy Bulloch as well on one of those occasions when I got to meet him. What an iconic figure that is, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant. I am slightly disappointed that the bubble it's not held up as good, because when I got it, it was literally mint and clear. And I've got to say, this was not a rare figure to get. You know, there was plenty around in the 90s of the Kenner and the British Palitoy one. It's just sought after and expensive, because, you know, he's such a popular old character as Boba Fett. That is a really nice item, that I have to say. So that's the first couple of carded. Then we got a couple more out of the box here. So we got a reuse. That's a Kenner reuse, and General Madine. There's a highlight of the collection, isn't he? There we are. So reuse, nice Kenner one here. See, that bubble's quite clear in comparison. Same age, just quite clear. Look, he's got a little dink there in the back. In fact, that's probably why this bubble hasn't aged so badly, because someone's put a hole in through the back and it's allowed it to breathe, maybe. Who can tell? Here he is, Mr. Popular, General Madine. Not my favourite figure by any means. You know, what a shame I haven't got the Tri-Logo one, which I believe is a bit of a pricier one. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Prune face. And we got, what else have we got here? Princess Leia. So Princess Leia in combat poncho. So once again, another Kenner one, slightly yellowed bubble, but what can you do, eh? All right, a little bit of wear, but it is what it is, I suppose. And the same with old Prune Face here, you know. Not my favourite figure by any means, but you know, it's a carded one all the same, and you know, I'm happy with that. Next, a Rebel Soldier. So you can tell, because the bubble hasn't aged so badly, that this is actually a British one and not a Kenner one. And there you go, you see. So Dewback about now. This is interesting. I don't know if you can see, but there's like black pen along there. So something has been rubbed out there, literally on purpose. That says open to UK residents only. So whether that's a little variation of some sort, I don't know, but that's quite a nice one. See, that I much prefer to some of the other Kenner ones that we've looked at. This next one here, oh no, that's a lovely figure, that R2-D2, always one of my favourites. It's a shame that this card has got a little crease along the top there, but the figure looks nice and minty. Nice little Tri-Logo bubble there. I love R2-D2. That's a great little figure, that. Now this one's a little more unusual. So this is a Kenner Empire Strikes Back figure. Now, weirdly, this one has managed to keep its bubble nice and white and clear, which is all right. It's got a Walgreens $3.55 sticker on, which I will leave. I don't think I've got many Kenner Empires in my collection. It's got a nice 41 back with the Hoth scenes there. Yeah, that's really nice. I like that one. That's a nice little figure. And that just leaves a couple of R2-D2s. So we've got nice 12 back R2-D2 and a Jedi R2-D2. So we'll look at this one first. So this is this Kenner one is R2 with his pop-up sensor scopes. This is the second R2-D2. It's a USA Canada one, Kenner one, so that's why the bubble's yellowed as predicted. However, this one's one of those pieces, another piece that I've got signed by Kenny Baker at one of the times I met him at one of the shows. Nice 65 back there. It's really nice. A really, really nice item there. However, this little fella here, the 12 back R2, well, this is nostalgia overload for me. So I was there when these figures first came out in Britain. This was the R2-D2 I would have had. It would have been this Palitoy one, all the way back in like 1978. That's beautiful, isn't it? Proper 12 back. Absolutely lovely. Just the 3 accessories listed. Very nice condition, that one. It really is. Absolutely minty. Absolute beaut, that one. Yeah, he's lovely. He's definitely one of the highlights of my collection, that one. I wouldn't like to guess how much those go for these days, but, you know, like any of the 12 backs, you know, they're expensive, but you still have to find someone putting a run together. But not that I'm looking to sell it or anything, but what a lovely figure that is, isn't it? And a nice one to end this video on, I think. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this latest look at a couple more boxes from the collection. Certainly there was some really nice stuff in here to have a look through. So don't forget, new Star Wars content every Friday and an unboxing every other Friday going forward. Don't forget, do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already for future Star Wars content. Once again, thank you all for watching and for your support, and I'll see you soon. Bye.